I wanted to thank President Firma for her overly generous introduction. Thank you so much, everybody. So good evening. I want to welcome all of you who came to this evening's activities in celebration of CCRC's 20th anniversary and in recognition of the capacity that community colleges have to change the lives of their students for the better. It's worth remembering, given the coming change in national leadership, that community colleges have never been represented as a partisan issue, and that working to strengthen and make more affordable institutions that open the door to college and college success for every student is a goal that we can all support. At the same time, we hope that the new administration recognizes and supports the critical role that the federal government has played both in providing financial assistance for college students and supporting research that has been crucial to improving student outcomes. CCRC was founded in 1996. I certainly did not imagine that we would grow to an organization of over 50 researchers and support staff and have such reach and respect in the field. I think it's fair to say that over the past 2 decades, CCRC has contributed to a much better understanding of how students experience community colleges. Our research has been influential in many related areas: developmental placement and instruction, online learning, transfer policy, advising and career counseling, to name just a few. The ideas contained in our recent book, Redesigning America's Community Colleges, have helped to generate a widespread reform movement based on what has become known as the Guided Pathways model. We are now in a period of reform and innovation unprecedented in the 20 years CCRC has been around, and we are proud to have played a meaningful role in advancing that activity. Now, none of this would have been possible without the constant encouragement and support of the Teachers College faculty and administration, and of course the dedication and passion of my colleagues at CCRC. It's truly a pleasure and an honor to come to work with them every day. Let's hear it from them. Most important, the educators and staff at the colleges who have partnered with us over the years to carry out our studies and who have worked with us to implement many of our recommendations, all of which are aimed at ultimately at improving outcomes and equity for community college students. The dedication of the faculty and staff at community colleges to making their classrooms and institutions more effective for students is truly inspiring. Now, our work has also been made possible by the many philanthropies, federal agencies, colleges, state systems, and private organizations that have funded our work. There are too many to name here, but I do want to call attention to the foundation and the program officer who are responsible for the origin of CCRC. In 1995, I can vividly remember receiving a call while I was in a taxi in Washington, D.C., from Arthur Levine, who was TC's president at the time. He told me that Jesse Ossobel from the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation had suggested that TC write a proposal to create a community college research center. Jesse had had the following insight. While 40 to 50% of undergraduates attended community colleges, and those students were disproportionately low-income, minority, immigrant, and first-generation college students, less than 10% of research on higher education even mentioned community colleges. That insight led directly to the founding of CCRC. So we're so pleased that Jesse could be with us tonight, as well as we're glad to welcome his mother, too, who's worked at Teachers College. And so I would like to invite him now to the podium, as we want to recognize him this evening and present him with a gift with the following inscription: in appreciation of your visionary contributions to the founding of the Community College Research Center and of your continued support and friendship. Thank you. We've got a spear over here.
On behalf of the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, thank you, Tom. In making the first large grant to the center in June 1996, Sloan insisted on only one matter: that CCRC researchers would do field work, that is, actually spend large amounts of time in community colleges and with community college folk. The enormous success of CCRC shows the value of seeing things with your own eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. We're so appreciative of what you've done. All right, so it's now my great pleasure to introduce our keynote speaker for the evening, Dr. Jill Biden. Welcome back to Teachers College, Dr. Biden. I say welcome back because 6 years ago you came to Teachers College to address graduates at the TC's doctoral hooding ceremony. I had the honor then, as I do now, of saying a word or two about your steadfast advocacy for community college students. As many of us in this auditorium know well, Dr. Biden's passion for community colleges is not new, nor is her love for teaching. Dr. Biden has been an educator for more than 30 years. She worked for 13 years in public schools in the state of Delaware as a reading specialist and English teacher. In 1993, she joined the faculty at Delaware Technical Community College, where for more than a decade, she taught English composition and remedial writing. Dr. Biden's commitment to the teaching vocation did not end when she became Second Lady of the United States. She actually taught classes the week after the 2009 inauguration, and in fact, still teaches today at Northern Virginia Community College. Dr. Biden has been extremely effective in using her platform as a seasoned educator and Second Lady to call attention to the value and promise of two-year community colleges. For example, in 2010, she convened the first White House Summit on community colleges to highlight the role that the colleges can play in boosting the nation's college graduation rate and in developing a highly educated workforce. And just last month, she hosted community college leaders at the vice presidential residence to thank them for their efforts to make community college free for students in their states and communities, and to seek support for America's College Promise, President Obama's national plan for tuition-free community colleges. Indeed, we'd like to thank both the Obamas and the Bidens for raising the profile of community colleges and focusing the nation's attention on their crucial role. Now, Dr. Biden's strong support for community college has unquestionably been good for our work at CCRC. But it has been critical for the kinds of students Dr. Biden teaches each week, many of whom work full-time and have families and who rely on a community college education to help them realize their American dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Dr. Jill Biden.